so I just wanted to do this verbal explainer of the final project for the ones who want to hear it out loud. The basic gist of this is we're going back to Essay 1, what you wrote way back in the second week of the semester. And you're going to rework it for this assignment, to go back and revise it based on the things you've learned over the course of the semester about especially how to use emotional appeal well, but you've learned how to do a lot of other things both at the writing level and then the content and persuasion level that you may want to take into consideration in trying to make your story better, so that maybe this is something you can use later on when you're looking for a job or looking for an internship or a scholarship or whatever. You can use and repurpose this story, and any story you tell can always be told better and more effectively for the situation. And so one thing you're going to do is just revise Essay 1. So even if you didn't want to revise anything else this semester, you should revise Essay 1 just because that is part of this assignment, and you're going to have a really hard time doing the other two pieces if you don't revise it, because they're all about what did you change. So first thing, you're going to revise it, and it may take you a few passes, and that's okay. That's actually a normal part of the process. I think a lot of you will find out as you go through this project that it might take more than one time through to get a story or any kind of writing as good as it can be. So you're going to revise it. You're going to, at some point as you revise, hence there might be multiple drafts, you're going to read your essay out loud to yourself and record it. And I know a lot of you will hate doing this, but this is a really useful tool for revising writing. Whatever writing you're doing, when you hear it, it starts to become more like something someone else wrote, and it becomes easier to hear things that might need to be adjusted. It might be places where the wording isn't quite right. It could be, missing words or grammar issues. It might be that I have a problem with super long sentences is one of mine. Starting a bunch of sentences in a row off the same way and things like that. Those are all things that I do best hearing to fix them. It's hard to notice it when I'm just looking at it on the screen. And so that is one of the things you're going to do, is at least once read it aloud to yourself and make a recording of it. There's instructions about how to do that. But that is a step that everybody needs to do for this assignment. And that is because I want everybody to at least once get a chance to see what it's like to use that as a writing and proofreading tool or revising and proofreading tool. And then the other thing you're going to do, and this is where most of the grade for this assignment comes from, is to write up a response, page and a half, something like that, just about reflecting on what you changed and why you changed it. That audio recording can be part of it, but it can also just be, how did you make some decisions, add things based on other things you've learned this semester. It might be about emotional appeal, it might be about focus, it might be about cutting out extra things that you don't need, but talk a little bit about what you changed and why did you change it, how did the course inform the changes that you made, and also how did your audio recording inform the changes that you made. So the audio recording is probably more about like the actual writing itself, like the wording, the grammar and things like that. I imagine the course content probably is more likely to change the content of your essay and what you focused on and what you include and what you cut out and things like that. But there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just looking for you to make changes and then to reflect on what did you change, why did you change it, and that's the assignment. So this is what we do instead of a final exam. There is no exam, test, anything like that. This is due by the end of our final exam period, but it's not a test. And if you have questions while you're working on it or get stuck or anything, you can definitely ask. It's not something you have to do all on your own. But this is just a good way to wrap up the class and get you to put all the pieces together and hopefully into something that you will be able to use in a really practical way after this class is over.